All right. Gavin Newsom said before he's in D.C. today, was in New York yesterday. And, there's a lot of benefits to being the front runner. But there's a lot of problems, too, if you're the front runner, which is everybody's coming after you. And I can't tell you the number of things I hear every day from people in private about from the left, the center, the right, everybody just pile on poor Gavin Newsom. Here's somebody piling on Gavin Newsom. The Deal Book people invited not just Gavin Newsom, but Halle Berry to come speak to their conference right around the time Newsom was speaking. And she gave no quarter, asked for none. Here's activist, actress Halle Berry just dumping on her governor. Number 10, please.
Gavin Newsom has vetoed our menopause bill, not 1, but 2 years in a row. But that's okay, because he's not going to be governor forever. And with the way he's overlooked women, half the population, by devaluing us in midlife, he probably should not be our next president either. Just saying.
Now, he's got an explanation for why he's vetoed the bill. We don't need to get into it here. But he's taken a lot of heat. And yet, check out the Polymarket. Our partners at Polymarket asked the question, who's going to be the Democratic presidential nominee in 2028? Polymarket, again, you can go on wager on all sorts of things, including politics, coming soon to the United States. Here is the latest. Gavin Newsom, 36% chance, according to Polymarket bettors, and you can see that's up substantially from earlier in the year. AOC, number 2, at 11% chance. Mark Kelly, number 7%. That's obviously a relatively recent development. Last thing I'll say, if you haven't read the Atlantic magazine profile of Governor Shapiro, I recommend it to you. It's really well done. It very well explains both his upside and his downside. And the one of the many criticisms that insiders make about Gavin Newsom is that he's got a lot of enemies in the party. A lot of people don't like him. California elite liberals don't like him. Some of the donors don't like him. The tech sector doesn't like him. The other governors don't like him. And that some people say, well, Governor Shapiro, a very likable guy. And Governor Shapiro is a very likable guy, and a lot of people like him. But one of the main themes of that article is he's got a lot of enemies in Pennsylvania. A lot of Democrats don't like him either. Now, that's part of politics. But here's my question. Jaime, you first, because you're a party. If Governor Newsom said to you, I want to close the year strong. And by the way, one of the things he said in Deal Book, to go back to my lingering view that he may not run, is he basically played down the notion that he's definitely running. But if he said, I want to keep my options open, I want to close the year strong, how should I spend the rest of December to consolidate my front runner status? What would you tell him?
Look, I just want to caveat this all by saying we have given Gavin Newsom exactly what he wants this year, and I think the fact that we're talking about him every day is already a win for him.
Yep.
But look, I think, and I am a fan of Gavin Newsom, and I've been a fan of Gavin Newsom for a long time, since he was mayor of San Francisco, and you guys know I worked for Mitch Landrieu, who was mayor of New Orleans, and so we spent a lot of time with Gavin Newsom and with the other mayors. And so I've seen him up close. So what I would tell Gavin Newsom is, and I've telegraphed some of this, he's in some ways doing exactly what he's supposed to do. I wouldn't shift much. He's winning the pre-primary. He's gone out there after. All
right, but if he said, I want to put it in a next gear, what could he do? What could he do this month? There's
not much more you could do, Mark, because he's out there. What he's doing is he was in New York, he's in D.C., he's on TV, he's on radio, he's on the podcast, he's going out and traveling in these states. What I would say, if he had some time over the next month, I would just do a little bit more travel. What he's been doing, people don't realize, he's doing a lot of off-the-record travel as well that he hasn't talked about. He banked in time in Alabama and Mississippi and South Carolina in a way that was really thoughtful. If I were him, I would bank in some time in Arizona and sort of figure out how to get it. I don't think he does really well in that state just yet. And so I would just do so. I would take my family on a trip and hang out with some members of Congress or some mayors in some of these places. And that's what I would do.
Kristen, what could he do in December?
Well, I think the off the record travel is so important right now in the primary phase for either party, like going to meet with people, not making it. You have to get these stakeholders in these states, and you want to go meet them before they're on camera. So I think that's important. He's doing it. I think he needs to. I watched that Texas event he did. It looked like it was exhausting to put together. I mean, it was fine, but it looked like they literally had to pay people to come. Like you could tell. Like I felt for the staff. Like I felt for their anxiousness. So I think he needs to go and do like one banger event or like something that shows that like momentum is really with him. Honestly, if it would be, in an ideal world, he should call up Shapiro and like he should go to Pennsylvania on Tuesday with Shapiro and do a dueling rally and make it bigger and more exciting like Philadelphia. Like that's what I would do.
Yeah, interesting. So I've been asking people this question, and I'll tell you the best answer I got, the most interesting, was from a big Newsom fan. It doesn't work for him, but big fan. And this person said he should do quiet trips to Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina, like food bank and whatever, not publicize them, just do quiet trips, and then give like a year-end, really well-written speech about kind of like where he sees America in the holidays. Very gracious. Anyway, I doubt I'll do any of it, but it's interesting to talk about.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.